of this parliament, the men and women, and I'm happy to see that both coalitions have considered at least 5 women on that side, 5 women on this side. I hope that we can send many women to be able to represent us. I want to support I share the sentiments of my sister, that it would be imperative for us to look at communities that share boundaries so that we can be able to enhance cohesion between these two countries. The purpose of the East African Legislation Assembly is to be able to foresee a future development where this country, Mr. Speaker, that's 53 seconds. Doesn't I have a minute, yeah? For the future of the community, so that at least eventually we can have one country which will be called the East African country. And that is going to be able to help us enhance development. Mr. Speaker, some of the things that we'll be talking about in future is an introduction of future parliaments or future committees that will look at the challenges that we go through. So I want to beseech my colleagues that on Thursday, let us look at the list entirely. Let us take into consideration those issues that we've discussed here, and also plead with my colleague that at least every Kenyan has got a right. It doesn't matter. We never chose to be born by rich families or poor families. We are all Kenyans. When we come here, let us respect each other, let us give each other an opportunity, and God will select the best person to represent us. Finally, remember that whoever we send to the East African legislation will be representing this parliament. It is an extension of this parliament, and that is why it is us, the members of parliament, who are electing our colleagues to go and represent us there. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Robert.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the report of the Joint Committee. And as we've looked at the report, the people selected by the Joint Committee are people representative generally, under the circumstance of the country and the regions. This is an opportunity for us as Parliament to be able to really help in fine-tuning what the committee has done. The committee has done a fantastic job, and in fine-tuning what the committee has done through voting, it is very critical that we don't let down the committee, because the committee has really, there are youth in this proposal, there are women, there are people with experience, there are people without experience, and they're all there. And with that spirit of the committee, it is an opportunity for us to be able to select. Yes, the proposals has been given by different political coalitions, but as members of parliament here, allow people to lobby, as what we have gone through in terms of election. But in as far as even considering the lobbying, we should not miss the opportunity to be able to see through and make sure that we maintain the same balance as done. I rise to support. Thank you.
Senator Eddie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I also rise to support the report, and I am drawn through this report to Article 19 of the Constitution, and I'm going to read sub-Article 1 and 2. Critically, sub-Article 1 says that the Bill of Rights is an integral part of Kenya's democratic state and is the framework for social, economic, and cultural policies. Sub-Article 2 says that the purpose of recognizing and protecting human rights and fundamental freedoms is to preserve the dignity of individuals and communities and to promote social justice and the realization of the potential of all human beings. Mr. Speaker, the day we attempt to suspend these articles, whether by just words or by mere
Senator
political rhetoric,
consult in Lawton.
the day we attempt to suspend this article, Mr. Speaker, whether by words or political rhetorics, is the day we will condemn all our children to condemnation without relief. I am very disappointed at a senator who has spoken very passionately, profiling sons and daughters of other senior politicians in these countries with regards to this, when we know that when we talk about dynasties today, by virtue that you've gotten an opportunity to be in this house, you are also, you are a politician, and your sons and children will be treated to the same measure that you put. And therefore, I request that as we consider this election coming in on Thursday, please let us consider people on the basis of people who can advance the economic opportunities for our people in the East African market. If you talk about somebody like Winnie Odinga, you might look at the daughter of Raila Amolo Odinga. But Winnie Odinga is also a qualified Drexel University double major graduate. So please respect the Constitution. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Anyeni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the report by the Joint Committee and also urge honorable members in this House that the shortlisted candidates meet the requirements, but we need to shed off the narrative of these slots being a Bureau of Employment. This House is going to be judged by citizens across the East African community countries by the kind of people we are going to send to that House. Secondly, someone like me would never have made it to this Senate hadn't I been given a platform. So I beg to request that members consider young people, women. So long as you have the capability and qualifications needed, you fit the bill to be in that House. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, and I put the question that pursuant Sir, Honorable Senators, at this juncture, I will invite the mover to reply.
Honorable Speaker, I stand here a very proud member of the Joint Select Committee of the two houses. Honorable Speaker, of note is the fact that this committee took into consideration a lot of comments that I've heard from the honorable senators on the floor. Honorable Speaker, as I stand here, I wonder about certain reference to daughters or sons or nepotism